All right. What's up, you heathens and demons, sinners and saints? Everything's fucked up, but we here again. What's up, Marty? Yeah, it seems that I don't know. I didn't even have to restart my computer. I just turned off OBS, unplugged everything, plugged everything back in, and it's working. So yeah, we're gonna do this. No intro, which I don't really have an intro for the channel right now. But yeah, let me get my stream turned back on over on the side. What's up, Marty? What's up, Kent Hoven? Yeah, better? Good, good. Yeah, I just had to turn off OBS, unplug everything, plug everything back in, and then seems to be working fine. All right. So, I'm just kind of hanging out after work today. Hopefully we're not going to have buffering. I'm getting all the same shit. But just chilling, kind of looking at stuff. Going to be looking at different things. Oh yeah, and my camera works too, so I gotta do that. I should have done that before I started the stream, but let's turn that on. What did I do? So I don't even really need that on until the channel's pumping again. So we'll go there. We'll hide Cartoon Me, and my camera should be working. I just gotta add it. And for some reason my camera's not gonna work. What the fuck? It's on. The light's on this time anyway, but for some reason, yeah, probably tried it too late. I don't know. My camera's not gonna cooperate with me, but that's fine. As long as the microphone's cooperating with me, we can do Cartoon Me for this stream, and then after stream I'll figure out what's going on with my brand new camera, which I don't really like anyway. I don't like the frame. I want a wider frame, and I can't do anything with it like I could with my last one, which was a much better camera. So yeah, I got a few things that I'm going to be looking at today and talking about, just chilling, hanging out. Anybody that wants to hang out with me. A lot of serious shit going on in my side chat, people challenging me. I really have no interest in just talking to people that's gonna lie and misrepresent cultists. Had an interesting kind of little thing with John in the side chat, because he made a comment to this dude that was trying to challenge me, and YouTube hit it and he wanted me to unhide it, and I couldn't find it to unhide it. And then there was this other comment about family and fascism and and I just kind of relayed my experience of, it's not even, I'm definitely think I'm having some buffering going on, so I probably should have restarted the whole freaking computer. But hopefully it's not going to be too bad. If it gets too bad, it'll drive my OCD crazy. But it's not even so much the fascism. The fascism is we held the people of Germany accountable, and I don't even equate this fascism to German fascism. I think that there's a lot of similarities in what Trump's trying to do in his rise to power, but I think American fascism is going to look a lot different than any other fascism. It's going to be a mixture of American exceptionalism mixed with Christian nationalism mixed with fascism. It's going to look completely different than anything. But the issue with family members and MAGA isn't necessarily the fascist issue, right? They don't know they're fascists. They're still essentially the same people. It's just they've been brainwashed by this ideology. It's the cult in them that's the issue, and that's what I think maybe John's not really looking at. And it's an issue that families have had to deal with forever. A family member getting brainwashed by a cult, and it's whether or not you can deal with the new person, the cult person. That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Or do you need to do an intervention, or do you need to cut yourself off, right? So there's that element that once I start having conversations again, and I might have one tomorrow, because I'm off tomorrow. One of my days off switched up from Thursday to Tuesday. So I might have like an open room tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. I have no interest in talking to liars. So if somebody comes in and can't really represent things honestly, I'll just boot them. I really have no interest in talking to liars, and I'd really like to explore the conversation of family. If people would be willing to share, their stories of family and MAGA. So if I do that, then that's going to be probably what I start with. And then we'll go from there. Maybe we'll talk Charlie Kirk. I just really don't want to talk with people that are just going to lie about shit. I've never watched her on TikTok, but I did see her in a video on YouTube once or twice. And yeah, she seems pretty interesting. So yeah, today is going to be a little mix of, what's been going on in the news. So much goes on in news cycles. Like, I haven't really covered news. Like, I could probably cover shit for ever. But I just got a few things to look at. It's probably, going to be a 2 or 3 hour stream, and it's not half of what I could look at. It's just what I decided that I'm going to be looking at as I chill after work today. My daughter's blood should be starting to come down, hopefully. It's been up and down all day. But yeah, she's coming down, so I might have to take care of a low blood sugar issue. And yeah, man, I really... Oh, maybe that's why my camera didn't work. Let me try it again. I pulled a knock, and I had my... come on. I don't think it's working. Yeah, it's not working. But I had my cover over the lens. Or, wait, maybe there? No, it's not working. Damn you, camera! Alright, so let me get rid of all that shit again. And I still haven't gotten rid of the webcam frame, so let's get rid of that. Alright. Disappointing. What does that look like? That looks like my camera's working. Why is it working there and not up there? What's going on? Why is this freaking stupid today? Alright, let me fix my camera down here. Just fix my light situation. Man, my camera's so jacked. That's a bit better. I still need to... See, I don't like my... I want my camera view to be farther away than it is. To show more of my upper body. And I can't adjust it like I could my old one. Because I did get a cheaper camera, but it's brand new. It should still be working. Now I want to figure out, why in the hell isn't it working up here? God damn it. See, this is what happens when OCD person isn't ready. Yeah, for some reason it's just not letting me bring anything up there. Alright, I'll have to figure that out later. But it's working down here, not up there. Alright, lost my train of thought. See, I got a bit to look at, but first I want to kind of address, Epstein and one gripe that I think Republicans have that's correct about Epstein, and it's something that I'm going to adjust in my argumentation as I start to delve into Epstein. I won't be doing that today. And my version of delving into Epstein will probably be looking at people talking about the cover-up. You know, that's until I can get my editing program, that's pretty much going to be like the core of my content. It's just me hanging out with friends, you know, and talking because I have nobody here in Battle Creek to talk to because I'm surrounded by Confederate MAGAs. So when it comes to Epstein, the gripe that I think Republicans have that is correct is that Democrats had 4 years where they could have really done something about the Epstein files. And they didn't. Now, I have a couple times miscorrectly said that there was no cause for the release of the Epstein files during the Biden administration, or at least I said like Biden wasn't under the pressure that Trump's under, and I still like agree with that analysis, but I think it cheapens the fact that the Biden administration did nothing about these fucking pedophiles either. The Biden administration participated in the cover-up unless their DOJ was looking into the Epstein files, was looking into possible other pedophiles, building cases, and then Trump came and stopped them. That would be a different thing, but there's been absolutely no reporting of that, no indication of that. So I have to go on the assumption that the Biden administration covered up the Epstein files as well. That they did nothing to pursue these pedophiles. They did nothing to expose these pedophiles. And they are equally as culpable as Donald Trump, outside of just the blatant cover-up that we're all witnessing when it comes to the Epstein files with Donald Trump. And as far as I know, Biden had no personal ties to Jeffrey Epstein. But outside of that, once we do get these files, if we ever get these files, I think all parties involved in the cover-up should be held accountable. And that includes the Biden administration. And I think that leftists, you know, I haven't really seen that. It's kind of like we kind of ignore that. And I think leftists need to take up that mantra. Like, it's not just Donald Trump and the Trump administration covering for PDF files. It was the Biden administration too. So, you know, I'm going to warn people, like, when I do start looking at this, I'm coming from it at that angle as well. If I'm going to hold Trump administration accountable for covering for powerful, influential PDF files, I'm going to hold the Biden administration to those same standards, and I think everybody should. So with that being said, we're going to get into what we're going to look at today. First is the oops, I did it again part. MAGA farmers, after getting fucked by Donald Trump in his first term, they went and voted for him again. And guess what? They're fucked even worse this time. I literally was kind of laughing about this, but then I'm going to try to take a more serious tone. I'm not going to watch all of this. This video is 54 minutes long. Let's get rid of cartoon me down here. Wait a minute. How do I have two cartoon me's? Oh, shit is just really fucked up. All right, there we go. Two cartoon me's. That's what I label it, cartoon me, in my OBS. I'm not going to watch all of it, but I'm going to watch a good chunk of it. I was laughing, you know, fuck around, find out. But I'll talk about the more serious implications as we go through this. So,
welcome to the consequences of your own choices. Meet the American farmer, rugged individualist,
all of a
free
sudden
market
I'm not hearing it. Shit is not working like it should be. All right, 1 second. Because I should be able to hear it, and I don't hear it.
Government. But when your farm business...
Oh, my gosh. All right, let me see if I can fix that. Everything's fucked up. All my settings got fucked up. And I don't know why. I don't know why. My camera volume's still good, or my mic volume's still good at least. Let's go up there. Let's see if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work. I might have to throw on my headphones.
Welcome to the...
All right, there we go. There we go. All right, I fixed it. Let's get back down here. Everything's all fucked up today. Everything's just smack fucked up. I don't know why. Like, my daughter said that there was some kind of power surge. There was like a bright flash on the screen. But my computer was fine. My computer was still on this morning when I woke up. It worked fine. I assumed OBS would now, and that's the problem of assuming. You never assume OBS is fine, because every time you assume it's fine, it's not fine. So that's where I fucked up. Always test OBS before you go live. You know, and that's a rookie mistake, and I cannot claim to be a rookie at this shit any longer. You know, doing that, hitting the mute button, that's just, that's just I'm all thumbs, right? But that is just rookie shit, not testing OBS to make sure everything's working fine before you hit the live button. That's just rookie shit, and I'm no rookie. Shouldn't fucking be a thing. But let's continue.
Consequences of your own choices. Meet the American farmer. Rugged individualist, free market capitalist, government is the problem patriot. Until their soybeans start rotting and their profit margins disappear. Then suddenly it's save American agriculture. And where's our bailout? They voted for policies that would destroy their own markets, deport their workforce, and spike their costs through tariffs. Now they're standing outside government offices with their hands out, wondering why China stopped buying their crops and why there's nobody left to harvest them. This isn't tragedy. This is arithmetic. And today we're watching people learn that economics doesn't care about your politics. Welcome back to Mind Mirror.
Yeah, and more people are going to be finding that out. Prices they're going up. They're going up at a good clip. And despite what Trump is saying, I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes, that he's going to be able to get gasoline down to $2 a gallon. I just filled up. I didn't really pay attention to what it was. But next time I'm going to pay attention, because I'm pretty sure it's not no $2 a gallon. Americans seem to be used to around $3 a gallon, $3 to $3.30 now. I remember when it was like, 75 cents a gallon, 50 cents a gallon. But yeah, people are gonna find out that economics doesn't care about your politics real fucking soon. And these people that are in denial, like these tariffs are gonna end up working. Like, it's one thing to be a cultist inside your cult, to drink the Kool-Aid that's going to kill yourself. It's another thing to hold a gun to everybody else's head and say, drink the fucking Kool-Aid. That's another thing. This ain't going to end out good for anybody. And all of these MAGAs are going to, like right now, they feel like they can deal with it. It's worth owning the libs if they're paying a little bit more right now, especially if it's going to be like, it's no longer lock her up. It's lock them up, which was always the path we were going to from lock her up. All right. Once you started on the path of lock her up, lock your political opponent up, you're on the path to lock all of your political opponents up. Right. So, I mean, everybody should have seen it. We were screaming about it. But people are like, shit's about to blow the fuck up. Companies have been taking the brunt of the tariffs that have been out there. Now tariffs are going to affect all across the board. Companies are trying to stock up now to kind of give themselves another month or two, right? But this shit is about to blow the fuck up. And it's doing it a lot sooner than Donald Trump would have thought. Right, and that's why he's panicking. That's why he's trying to steal the midterm elections by redistricting all these red states. Hopefully, blue states can counterbalance that. But I don't even really think it's going to matter, because this shit's about to blow up in their fucking faces. right? And it's right now they can say, all right, if it don't get much worse, we can handle this shit. It's worth it to lock them up, but it's about to blow the fuck up. So they all fucked around. They all about to find out, but farmers already finding out. And like the serious part of this is when farmers are fucked, we're fucked. Right? And I don't know, like, I want to be compassionate. I want to think about myself, eat as cheap as possible, right? But at the same time, I also don't want them to get a goddamn dime. Are we going to get a bailout? I don't think so.
Let's dive into the FAFO Chronicles.
How difficult is it to be a soybean farmer right now?
Well,
Oh, yeah? What does it have wrong, Cerberus? Maybe it does. I just listened to it today. I'm just chilling and looking at shit. I'm not really worried about... I mean, what's wrong about it? If it's, like, all wrong, but what's wrong about it?
depend on the Chinese market. And the reason we depend so much on this market is China consumes 61% of soybeans produced worldwide.
Haven't we not been talking about like soybeans for months? Right? Did they not vote for Donald Trump? Did they not vote for tariffs? What does the video have wrong, Cerberus?
The rest of the world is 39%. Of the soybeans that American farmers produce, 25% currently have been going to China. And right now, we have zero sold for this crop that's starting to be harvested right now.
So the people who say no handouts just lined up for a handout. Now tell me why farmers in Arkansas are standing outside with their hands out again, begging Uncle Sam for money. See, when it's regular people struggling, rent too high, groceries too ridiculous, can't afford health care, the answer is always from these people, stop complaining, stop asking for handouts, and pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Farmers in Arkansas...
What's wrong with that, Cerberus? Shouldn't they pull themselves up by their bootstraps? Shouldn't they deal with their hardships?
Arkansas are crying out to the feds for stimulus money like it's open mic night. And look, I get it, because times are hard everywhere. But when you...
Why do you think it was AI? I wasn't paying that much attention. But, I mean, are farmers not, like, fucked right now? Are farmers not, filing for bankruptcy? Are they not, cropping out and there's no markets to sell? Like, it's harvest time, there's no markets. Right? What's wrong about it, Cerberus? Too much to type.
Plant your crops, raise your cattle, take on the risks of farming. I mean, wasn't that a personal business decision? So why is it on me and you to make sure that that decision keeps paying out? Because, see, when you and I make bad decisions, government doesn't cut us a check to make it right for us. Now, let's connect the dots here a little bit. These are the same people voting for the...
Yeah, I mean, I've spent my whole life hearing my conservative-ass family tell me how fucking much of a failure I am because I didn't follow in their footsteps and conform and become a slave to the man like they did. Sell my soul. So, am I going to get a handout, Cerberus? Shouldn't I pull myself up by my bootstraps? Shouldn't I deal with my own hardships?
Same politicians who say government is the problem. Yet as soon as the tractors stop running and their profits dry up, government magically turns into a solution for them. Ain't that funny and ironic? The question is, do we owe farmers any help? Or do they need to practice what they preach? Figure it out. Tighten that belt.
Now, the argument is, though, I mean, they do grow our food. So, like, we should give them some grace. And honestly, I think they should get bailed out. Like, American farmers shouldn't be fucked over just because our president is a fucking idiot. That's honestly what I think. But at the same time, I also think, like, you're going to keep voting for these really bad politicians that's against your interest if you don't find out. It was my argument even though I voted for Kamala, it was my argument against voting for Kamala. Like, if we continue to vote for these weak-ass candidates in the Democratic Party, well, then the Democratic Party is going to continue to think they can run these weak-ass candidates, right? You know, it's literally like at some point, you've got to learn your lessons.
Keep taxpayers out of it.
Hold up. So when regular folks need help with rent or healthcare, it's stop asking for handouts
What's
and
up,
figure it out
SPM?
yourself. But when your farm business fails because of policies you voted for, suddenly it's taxpayers' responsibility to bail you out. That's some Olympic-level mental gymnastics right there. Here's the brutal reality. Farming is a bit...
I think you don't like the video because it exposes the damage that your president is doing to this country, Cerberus. I mean, and I think you're intellectual enough, you're smart enough, you're smarter than me, that you know that shit.
business.
You know, all these people have all these gripes about me, but the one thing about me is I'm pretty fucking honest about myself. I try to be. You gotta look at yourself in the fucking mirror, bro. You really do.
Businesses succeed or fail based on market conditions, labor costs, and trade relationships. When you vote for politicians who promise to blow up those exact things, you're essentially voting to sabotage your own company. And let's talk about that personal responsibility these folks love to preach.
Now, it does kind of sound like the voice over might be AI, and I always hate that shit. It didn't sound AI in my earbuds when I listened to this at work earlier today, but it sounds AI to my ears through my speakers.
The personal responsibility in voting for tariffs that price your product out of international markets.
Could just dude has a robot.
Where's the
voice.
accountability
Could be
in
either
supporting
or.
deportation policies when 70% of your workforce is undocumented immigrants? You made business decisions based on political emotions instead of economic reality. That's not the government's problem to fix. That's basic entrepreneurship gone wrong. The rest of us shouldn't subsidize your political mistakes.
Because last I checked, it's really not our problem to fix somebody else's game.
Like Arkansas farmers are in the find out phase of the fuck around and find out part.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Because farmers from all over the state of Arkansas came together to have a town hall meeting with some representatives from the government explaining their struggle.
And really, like, does Trump want to set the precedent? Does he want to bail out the farmers for tariffs? Because it's going to hit the whole country. It's already hitting the whole country, right? We're already paying more at the grocery store. But it's about to fucking blow up in their fucking faces. So does he want to set the precedent to bail out the farmers? And then, you know, he's going to have, it's not going to just be lefties. And then we're going to have a real problem because he'll probably, if he does anything, bail out red states. You're going to have a whole fucking problem. So all those MAGAs in all them blue states going to get pissed off. Oh. I don't think that they've really thought through everything. Like, they spent 4 years planning on how they were going to take over this government. And it just seems like they're inept in that even. But we'll see. We'll see. They've got all the power.
And what they might need to help them. And just as a friendly reminder, during the 2024 election, the state of Arkansas went 64.2% towards President Orange Man. But let's continue with the rest of this clip because it seems like one farmer might be having a realization as to what may be causing all of these issues.
For Brown, there is something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing, the tariffs.
I think that tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay? U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
Now, I'm actually glad he's making the correlation that...
Yeah, so China didn't wait around. You know, like, nobody in the world wants to trade with the United States. Why would they? It's bad business. The instability of our markets right now. Like, for all these Trumpers, all these MAGAs are supposed to love free markets, but they're more than willing to let Trump destroy all of them. You think America's still like the economic powerhouse in the world? We might hold that illusion, but the world ain't fucking with us. They don't have to. China moved on. You know, our beans are cheaper than China's beans, or than Brazil's beans. But once you add the tariffs to it, well, Brazil's beans are a lot fucking cheaper than our beans. See, it was the great lie sold to the American people that this was an attack on foreign nations, that this was a tax on our enemies, on the people that were fucking us over. This was a tax on the American people. This was an attack on the American people all along. They need you struggling. They need you fighting with each other. Because they're basically fucking buffoons that can only have a chance of ending American democracy if we're so busy at each other's throats that we're not looking at what they're doing. It's why it's so desperate and apparent. But we all fall for it. I fall for it. We all fall for it. Because, you know, human beings just, I think, inherently hate each other. I mean, I'm a testament to that every time I get in a car. Because nobody drives like a human being. Everybody's fucking idiots. In my brain.
It has something to do with the tariffs. But I've noticed a pattern when it comes to some of these people, when it comes to the tariffs, that they never make the connection or blame towards the person that actually caused these tariffs. And I'm going to give him a major hint that it has to do with the person that won 64.2% of the vote in that state during the 2024 election.
Here we go. This farmer finally connects the dots between tariffs and his business problems. Brazilian soybeans are cheaper than American ones because of the tariffs. Basic economics 101. But notice what's missing from his analysis? Any mention of who implemented these tariffs. Arkansas went 64% for Trump. These same farmers cheered when he promised to punish China with trade wars. They thought tariffs were some magical weapon that would only hurt foreign countries. Nobody explained to them that tariffs are paid by importers, which makes American products more expensive to foreign buyers. China didn't just sit around waiting for American farmers to figure this out. They built new supply chains with Brazil, Argentina, and other countries. Those aren't temporary relationships. They're long-term contracts that have fundamentally shifted global soybean markets. So when this farmer says Brazilian beans are cheaper, what he's really saying is, the policies I voted for have permanently damaged my industry's competitiveness. But he still can't bring himself to name the architect of his own downfall.
And this Arkansas farmer seems like he has a solution for this problem.
So, how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke.
Yep, you heard that right.
So, socialism bad until you need it. Again, I think they probably should get bailed out. I mean, their president is destroying American farms. You know, we can't eat if we don't grow food. You know, I mean, I'm a meat guy. I'm a carnivore, but you can't have just only meat. And how much is that meat going to cost if there's nothing else to eat? You know. Literally, like, and I've been calling it for a while. Like, I hope you guys like the taste of leather in wintertime, because it's going to be, we're back to them Great Depression days. It's going to be some leather soup. It might not be that extreme. It might be just ramen for dinner every fucking night, you know. It's like everybody going back to their college days. How much are you willing to take to own the libs, to lock them up? How much suffering? How many of your children are gonna die? Like, I'm up to try to get my kid's shit up. You know, her insurance is, you know, maybe I'm gonna lose that. She's type 1 diabetic. If I lose that, and I can't find a supplement, which they're, They're making Obamacare unaffordable. My kid's going to die. You know, unless I just take her and we live in an emergency room, then I can't work, you know. And then how long will she survive on that? And how many MAGAs do you think are going to be in that situation? How many? Do you think that they're going to be happy to bury their children, to bury themselves? So the thing about fascists is they don't govern well. Because they're ultimately like narcissistic in nature. They only think about themselves. You know, and I'm going to call like these buffoons are just they're too inept to actually get it done. They're too mask off to actually get it done. They should have kept the mask on for at least 3 more years. But they went mask off way too early. Way too fucking early. Too many fucking MAGA Republicans out there just remember too clearly what it was like to be a real American. What it was like to actually care about the First Amendment. It's too soon. They moved too soon. Now you have your cultists out there that are going to go along no matter what. But a lot of them ain't. So I think they're just too big buffoons to get it done. And then do you think you're safe even in your Republican strongholds when your Republican base is losing their lives? When your Republican base is eating ramen for dinner every night? You think you're going to keep their vote? You fucking buffoons.
Asking for a government handout, which is socialism, which he says he doesn't like them, but during these past years, there have been lots of subsidies and checks going out for farmers.
No, actually, I'll tell you why prices haven't risen so much, Cerberus X, because corporations have been taking the brunt of the punishment so far because they're afraid of the reaction of MAGA. But that's only going to go so far. Now, and there's been like solid reporting on that. That's only going to go so far. And again, I know for a fact companies are stocking up now, but that's only like they're only going to be able to stock up a month ahead, 2 months ahead. This is going to blow up in their faces. Shit is going to skyrocket. And how many votes are you going to keep then?
Including bailouts that happened during President Orange.
I mean, anybody looking at the big, beautiful bill with open, clear eyes doesn't take a leftist to see that this is a shit bill that's going to hurt a lot of people, that only benefits the top end of society. And it doesn't even really benefit them because of the tariffs. How many votes do you really think you're going to be able to keep through all of this? With the Epstein files looming over the PDF files' heads. Shit's going to... Man, I just hope I'm not in prison for using my speech so I can enjoy it here eating popcorn when it happens.
Man's first term, because during his first term, financial aid to farmers was about $28 billion, costing more than Navy shipbuilding, the nuclear forces, NASA, and even children's health insurance. So yeah, you guys do love to receive bailouts and handouts. All the while, you guys tell other people who need financial aid, such as single mothers with kids who need food stamps, that they should pull themselves up by the bootstraps, but for some reason, you guys don't like doing it yourselves. And this is just another episode in the saga of Fuck Around and Find Out. I don't even know what episode number we're on, but yeah.
This is perfect. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke. Translation. I hate socialism until I need it, then it's a necessity. Let's be crystal clear about what happened here. During Trump's first term, farmers got...
See, your problem is you believe Trump. That's your problem, Cerberus X. And you're too smart for that.
$28 billion in bailouts. That's more than NASA, more than children's health insurance, more than naval shipbuilding. $28 billion of taxpayer money to compensate for trade war damage that those same farmers supported. And here's the kicker. they're asking for it again, after voting for the same policies that created the problem in the first place. It's like setting your house on fire, calling the fire department, then lighting another match and expecting the same response. Meanwhile, these same folks oppose food stamps for families, healthcare subsidies for the poor, and student loan forgiveness. But farm subsidies? That's just good policy, apparently.
Nah, I think I'm done with that. You get the point. You get the point. All right, so this is like insanity. All right, so I think they're pretending like it's the left that doesn't believe the FBI. And, you know, I'll give it to Trump. He seems to have his Senate and Congress mostly in line. Not all the way, but mostly in line. But MAGA doesn't believe the FBI when it comes to Charlie Kirk's shooting. And the only MAGA pundits that believe them are the ones that are paid to believe them. So again, we're gonna check out my friend, or my new friend. I don't know the guy. Valhalla VFT, I think it is. He's former Green Beret, and it seems like he's definitely got a right wing bias. He's definitely a Trump guy. I watched another video to where it's not a video that I'm going to be checking out today, but where he definitely shows his Trump bias as well. But he's definitely got a right wing bias. He's definitely, but it seems like most of his content is about the military, and not politics. But he has been covering this shooting because he's military. This is what he's interested in, and he doesn't buy what the FBI is putting out when it comes to this shooting. And the latest thing that's really coming out that I think it was Turning Point put this out is just fucking unbelievable. They're trying to make Charlie Kirk's assassination some kind of fucking miracle. It's kind of disgusting, but let's check this out.
It was an absolute miracle that someone else didn't get killed. His bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel.
I don't believe you.
It should have just gone through and through. It's likely would have killed those standing behind him too. In the end, the coroner did find the bullet just beneath the skin. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and the official narrative surrounding the Charlie Kirk situation has just taken a pivot into absolute ridiculous insanity la la land that I'm shocked that what I'm going to show you is real, but it is, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this post that was put out by Turning Point USA, declaring that, yes, Charlie Kirk was Superman. He's the man of steel. His bones are so dense that they're made of steel. I guess he had the, X-Men Wolverine adamantium infusion into his skeleton. Because,
by the way, like that X-Men Origins Wolverine movie was probably like the worst of all of them. Totally butchered Wolverine's origin story from the comics. Probably the worst job Hugh Jackman did playing Wolverine ever. It was one of the things I really enjoyed about Deadpool and Wolverine was like Hugh Jackman got back to his OG Logan portrayal of Wolverine from X-Men 1. I always thought like his performance in X-Men 1 nailed Logan. Nailed it. And then he nailed it again in Logan the movie, and then like nailed it again. Like he blended the two expertly in Deadpool and Wolverine. So but like that Wolverine was awful. that Wolverine was awful. I mean, almost as bad as Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool in that movie.
Yes, this is actually what is being put out. So yeah, here you go, Fox News today. Man of Steel. Charlie Kirk's body stopped a bullet that would typically just go through everything. And it was an absolute miracle nobody else was killed. His surgeon told Turning Point USA. And another one, surgeon says Charlie Kirk's neck stopped a bullet from killing anyone else. He's like the man of steel. Okay, guys, we're going to talk everything in this. We're going to talk ballistics. We're going to talk anatomy. We're going to talk physics, and just we're going to look at the actual post Turning Point put out here in a second. I'm blown away by how stupid this is. They are now going to tell us that Charlie Kirk took a 30-06 round to the neck.
Yeah, it's like this FBI thinks that everybody in America is just fucking dumb. And it's like it's showing like Trump and Patel and Bongino and even, you know, Pam Bondi, like these people don't understand their base at all. At all. Like their base is pretty much like their base, their QAnon base. That's all conspiracy theory shit, right? They don't trust the FBI. That's inherent in their souls, right? Like, and then you put on this FBI and expect them to believe this FBI, the FBI that the Kash Patel that just said like Jeffrey Epstein only trafficked women to Jeffrey Epstein, when we know that that's not true. This FBI that's trying to make us believe that this gun was used when it clearly wasn't a 30-06. More than likely, Charlie Kirk was killed by a handgun from the crowd, is my going theory. And that's just based on watching dudes like this talk about the ballistics. Like, there's no fucking way Charlie Kirk was shot with a rifle, with that particular rifle. There's just no fucking... And I didn't see this, and I think I stopped it before we got to the ballistics parts, but I've seen the ballistics on it, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be looking at ballistics. There's no fucking way.
From 150 yards. And his next...
It's like we're literally back into JFK magic bullet territory with this bullshit. Like... Now, my theory is, as far as I know, this is coming from Turning Point USA and not the FBI. Like, if this becomes official FBI narrative, lights out, game over. But this is, like, my theory is Turning Point USA and their new Christian nationalist direction, which Charlie was always kind of that, but, like, you know, Mrs. Kirk is definitely going to be taking that Christian fundamentalist slant. With Turning Point. So I think that this is trying to sanctify him. This is trying to make a miracle out of the assassination. And it's just fucking ludicrous. And it's going to destroy any credibility that Turning Point USA has moving forward. Like if they keep trying to do this kind of shit, like they're not going to keep getting grace from people, because a lot of people on the right didn't really like Charlie Kirk. He wasn't far right enough.
Stop the bullet. No exit wound, no pass through. They found the bullet just beneath the skin. And I'm going to show you some new ballistic tests with the 30-06 against human bone here in a second. But let's look at the actual post. Guys, I'm going to be honest, I had some people send me this last night when it first dropped. I remember I was sitting on the couch next to my wife. She showed it to me. I read it and I said, oh, that's so dumb. That's obviously fake. There's no way that's real. And I just moved on with it because it was just, this was so outrageously stupid that there was no way. There was no way that this was a real post. And then I wake up this morning to hundreds of you guys emailing me and messaging me this exact thing, that yes, this is in fact real. And I believe, as far as I know, Andrew Colvett here is the executive producer at Turning Point, and he put this post out last night. Let's make our way through it. All right, here we go. I want to address some of the discussion about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. I'm usually not interested in delving into most of this kind of online chatter, and I apologize, this is somewhat graphic, but in this case, the fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably another miracle, and I want people to know. I just spoke with the surgeon who worked on Charlie in the hospital. That seems weird because that's a violation of HIPAA. But okay, let's keep moving.
Yeah, like you're literally not supposed to be able to do that. This makes it look like Turning Point's complicit with the conspiracy, man. It doesn't look good for them at all, because the implications of that, right? Like, if this is indeed a conspiracy, and I mean, people are like, why would the FBI lie about this? You know, like, because they're just basically releasing Tyler Robinson because he's going to get off, which I agree. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to get off because like they've just fucked this up so bad. But like my first thought whenever I hear that argument is like, motherfucking Epstein got murked in prison, yo. Like, I don't think they have any intention of this dude making it to trial. That's just my thought.
He said the bullet absolutely should have gone through, which is very, very normal for a high-powered, high-velocity round, for a 30-06 round. Yes, it is. I've seen wounds from this caliber many times, and they always just go through everything. This would have taken a moose or two down, an elk, etc. Yes, a 30-06 round can penetrate through and through an elk. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But it didn't go through. Charlie's body stopped it. I mentioned to his doctor that there were dozens of staff, students, and special guests standing directly behind Charlie on the other side of the tent, and he replied, it was an absolute miracle that someone else didn't get killed. His bone was so healthy, and the...
Now, as far as I know, I could be wrong about this, but as far as I know, they have to talk about this because that camera that was taken down behind Charlie Kirk, that, as far as I understand, I haven't seen it, but I guess that footage leaked online. And people saw that the bullet never came out, right? So they had to address the fact that there's no exit wound. And this is supposedly an assassination with a 30-06 rifle from 150 to 200 yards away. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm not a gun guy, and I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. It should have just gone through and through. It's likely would have killed those standing behind him, too. In the end, the coroner...
Cerber Sex, you're a gun guy. Makes sense to you?
...did find the bullet just beneath the skin. Even in death, Charlie managed to save the lives of those around him. Remarkable. Miraculous. You guys know how fucking stupid that whole thing is, right? I'm sorry to be a little bit rude and disrespectful here. They even say... They because they know people like me are going to say, yeah, no, actually a 30-06 round will go through and through a elk at 500 meters. So no. So they had to put all those things in there. Typically, it would have gone through anything. Yeah, we're going to talk about the things that a 30-06 round will go through at 150 meters and show you some ballistics here next. Not possible. None of this story is possible. Like physiologically, physically, through physics, none of it is possible. I am so blown away that they are going to, the official narrative now is it's a miracle and Charlie Kirk's bone density is that of steel. That's part of the official narrative now. From Turning Point. All right, now before we get into the ballistic test to prove this point, here's what's crazy to me. Do these people not realize who's in America, what we did for the last 20 years? Do you know how many tens of thousands of global war on terror veterans there are that know exactly what it looks like when a high-powered rifle round hits a human body, especially in an area like soft tissue in the neck? You know how many people hunt out there and know exactly what a 30-06 round does to an elk skeleton or bone? We're not dumb. This ain't going to work. This man of steel, his bone density, let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about some things a 30-06.
Why would they have to put out this ridiculous story? You know, I didn't know at first. Like, I thought it was $100,000 that the family were going to get for turning in their son. But it turns out they're getting $1 million. And there was all these reports that they were donating the money. No, they're not. That's not true. They're making this kid out to be some kind of like far leftist. That's the official narrative is this kid is a far leftist. Now, if you're on my Facebook, I'm not even like max left, right? 95% of my posts are far left posts. Right? There's no doubt. Like if the government wanted to show America that I was a far lefty, they could do that very easily. So why aren't they? Why aren't they? It's because this kid ain't a far lefty. He's, like, by all accounts, a Reddit kid. Most likely probably has a lot of different fucked up ideas. None of this is making sense. That it doesn't appear that it was a 30-06 that killed Charlie Kirk. Why would Turning Point USA go along with that? It doesn't seem to make any sense to me. It's like the farther away we get from it, the less sense it makes. And that in itself makes no fucking sense.
6 can do. From out to about 400 to 500 yards, a 30-06 can penetrate elk bone. Why is that significant? Elk bone is significantly more dense and strong than human bone. Why? Because elk get up to almost 1,000 pounds. And so the bone has to be extremely dense to carry that much weight. Now, let's compare it to human, okay? Well, for one,
I do have experience in this, not real experience, but hunting elk and what's my favorite fucking game? God damn it, I'm drawing a blank on my fucking game. Arthur Morgan, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. They're a bitch to hunt in that game. They're a fucking bitch to hunt in that game.
let's talk about where Charlie got shot. He got shot here in the carotid. If that did hit a vertebrae in his neck,
I can't remember the name of it.
Let's understand that neck vertebrae is some of the most fragile bone in the human body because it's so flexible to handle what we do with our neck. So what they're telling you is a 30-06
Redemption, yeah,
which can blow through elk bone, was stopped by Charlie Kirk's neck and a vertebrae. If you believe that, God bless your little heart. Now let's look at this actual ballistics test. All right, so we're going to watch a video from US Overwatch. He just put out this a day ago. Very good video. Let's check it out. I'll put his link in the pinned comment and description if you want to watch the whole video.
So our first shot will be a cold bore shot, and we will just see what kind of results we are able to duplicate.
All right, so he's got some very thick bone here across the strap of this dummy. Obviously, this would be far thicker and stronger than a human vertebrae in the neck. Let's see what this 30-06 rounds does to it. Wow. All right, from this angle, as you can see here. Huh. Not only does it go through that bone, it explodes the bone, blows through the dummy. Also, as we'll see here in a second, blows through the wall behind it.
Like we did kind of also think, the bone stood no chance against a 30 caliber round traveling at that high of a velocity. So now we're going to give it, reset it back up and put the ballistic plate in front of it and see if we can't duplicate that shot as well.
Right now he actually shoots a ballistic plate with 30-06 round. Destroys the plate. Second things there, just rip the entire half of that plate off. So there you go, guys. You just saw, I mean, right there for you, 30-06 round. Damage it's going to do, went through way bigger bone than a vertebrae, through the dummy, through the wall. Blew the entire top section of that ballistic plate off. But Charlie Kirk's neck, flesh and a little vertebrae, stopped that round. And it's not just me. I looked at every single one of these posts and I went to the comment section. What do the regular populace think about this when they heard this? All right, so from the post from the right-winged angel, Turning Point USA spokesman Andrew Covett said Saturday that Charlie Kirk's...
It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's literally like they think that we're stupid or they just don't care what we think. And people should be pissed off. I didn't even like Charlie Kirk, but that kind of pisses me off. Like, if you like Charlie Kirk, like, this should really fucking piss you off. This should be an insult to you.
Surgeon called an absolute miracle. And the very first comment, bullshit button. That's not how bullets work. Bruh, ain't no way you believe this. I follow this account just to see the lack of critical thinking and laugh. This is a fantasy feel good. Makes no sense. But now here's the problem, because you're actually going to have tons of people out here that are going to leave this type of comment. Wow, amazing how many people follow you who can't believe in a miracle. God was at work through the life of this man, Charlie Kirk. This is so unbelievable for those who can't see God in his creation.
Jesus magic doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Jesus magic isn't going to stop that bullet from a 30-06 from practically decapitating Charlie Kirk's head. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Look, man. First of all, if this was a miracle, why didn't the miracle would have been Charlie got shot in the throat and he managed to live? What's the miracle here? The bullet didn't pass through? That's it? That's what we're going to call a miracle? So this now just raises way more questions. So here's where we're at. Is it possible that the autopsy report showed that Charlie was shot in the neck and the bullet potentially didn't make it through? Sure. If it was maybe a pistol round, is it possible that a 30-06 round was stopped by Charlie's neck vertebrae? No, it's not. There's a 0% chance of that happening. That's not possible. It's not a thing. So here lies the problem.
Yeah, see, I hadn't heard that one, Fi. That would be interesting. Like I said, I haven't seen, because supposedly, I haven't seen it. Supposedly, the camera that was in the back leaked online, but I haven't seen it. But from what I understand of it, it doesn't show an exit wound. But I can definitely have that wrong. Now that's just like chatter that I saw online on one of my breaks.
Okay, FBI. We now have supposedly the coroner and the surgeon saying that bullet didn't pass through. It lodged just below the skin. Okay, so now we know it wasn't a 30-06. So who's the shooter? FBI? Where's the actual gun? FBI? Again, these things don't match up. The official story does not work now with this surgeon report. This is apparently going to be the official story. The official story up to this point was already obviously bullshit. But now I'm 100% confident, at least in that this was not a 30-06 round. It's just not possible. Because if we're going with the surgeon report that, yes, the bullet just lodged just beneath the neck, not physically possible. Because here's the official story.
Now, is that from the surgeon report or just that dude's tweet? That's what I want to know. Like, did the surgeon's report actually leak? Or is that what this dude is saying? Because if that's what this dude is saying, he's just trying to he's just grossly trying to use Charlie Kirk's death to not only sanctify Charlie Kirk, but to like, I don't know, give Turning Point USA Christian nationalist cred. I don't understand. It doesn't make any fucking none of it makes any fucking sense. None of it.
This kid drives from 3 hours away, shows up, changes his clothes, has a broken down rifle in his backpack, goes to the roof, changes his clothes, reassembles the rifle, takes the shot with a 30-06 from 150 yards that hits Charlie directly in the neck. And that bullet was somehow stopped by Charlie Kirk's small vertebrae in his neck, the man of steel. It's a miracle. We're going with that's the explanation now. The official story now is claiming this is a miracle. There we go. To add to the FBI's story, it's a miracle. And Charlie Kirk.
So he put this out yesterday. So I'm not sure, like maybe people called bullshit and they've retracted this at this point. I'm not sure about that. But like again, I listen to this shit on my break, and I've been watching this guy's coverage just because I automatically don't trust this FBI. I don't really trust the FBI, period. I mean, I trust them to do some things well, and then other things I don't. But like this FBI, I just don't trust them. I don't trust Kash Patel. I don't trust the fact that they pretty much fired all of their good FBI agents and only kept the ones that could pass a lie detector test saying that they're loyal to Donald Trump. I don't I don't trust any of this shit. I don't understand. The only reason there's only like two reasons the government would lie about this, right? There's only two reasons why the government would have this patsy, and such an inept patsy, right? Like, all Tyler Robinson really has to do is keep his fucking mouth shut, because it seems like this thing's just going to explode by itself, and he's going to walk free if he makes it to the end. But that's the problem with keeping your mouth shut, because I'm really scared this kid isn't going to make it to the end. Like, if this kid dies, it's going to be fucking wild if this kid dies in prison. But none of this shit makes sense. Like, the only two reasons the government would be lying about all of this is, one, Israel did it, or two, they did it. Both are outrageous to even consider, even with this administration. Right? Like, those are very dark roads, even for this administration. But inevitably, it's the conclusion you have to draw if you don't. And I don't think that he's gotten there yet. Like he clearly doesn't trust the FBI. But I clearly see, like, he really likes Donald Trump in some of the videos that I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he has gotten there. But, like, the only reason the government has to lie are one of two reasons, which I think he thinks is probably Israel. I know most people, most of the righties that I'm seeing, like, I thought about using a different dude just to show, like, different right-wing people are talking about this shit. But right-wing don't believe this shit. The only people that seem to believe this shit are, like, the uber Christian nationalist people. The people that would believe in a miracle, right? They're the only ones.
Was the Man of Steel. I'm so blown away that this is where we're at with this. I can't imagine any of you watching this are going, yep, sounds good. This kid just drove from 3 hours away. You know, rifle broke down in his backpack, his magic backpack, with his changes clothes. He goes to the roof, changes his clothes, reassembles the rifle, takes the shot with a 30-06 from 150 yards, which, by the way, this got me thinking. I watched this clip, and you guys might not think there's not that much to it, but I think there is. All right, you might think at first, oh, this isn't that big of a deal. So what we have here is a kid being interviewed when the gunshot rings off and a little bit of an aftermath. I want you to watch it, and there was something I noticed about this. Okay, why is this important? You hear the gunshot ring off. It's not that loud. The kid being interviewed and the people behind him don't even flinch. They don't move. They don't go, what the was that? I'll play it again. All those people still on the balcony. One kid kind of just like, what was that? Kid being interviewed didn't even sound like he even heard it. You guys realize if a 30-aught, that's basically an amphitheater, right? Dug down into the ground, big buildings everywhere. The acoustics on this would be insane. You guys realize if a 30-06, and we know it wasn't a suppressed 30-06, we've seen the FBI picture of the weapon. If a 30-06 would have gone off within 100 meters or so of these kids, everyone in that amphitheater would have immediately gone, ooh, it would have sounded like a bomb going off. But these kids didn't even flinch, which tells me it was most likely a small caliber round or suppressed round, be it a pistol round, be it a suppressed 5.56 round. That's what that reaction tells me. That reaction from those kids, none of them barely even flinched when that gunshot went off. And this isn't even the end of the suspiciousness. You know, there's a lot of questions of where is this camera footage? I'll probably have to get into that in a different video because there's a ton of cluster behind that as well. But the video will get too long for that. And guys, if you're calling people like me a conspiracy theorist right now for looking at this story and looking at posts like that and going, that's total bullshit, guys, I'm sorry. But this is from top to bottom, start to finish. This entire thing has been pathetic from the FBI. Again, I don't know if it's nefarious or if it's just extreme incompetency. And now with these posts, the surgeon saying it's a miracle that Charlie's the Man of Steel. His bone density and his vertebrae is strong enough to stop a 30-06 round. Off, dude. That's where I'm at this point. I think the American public does.
Yeah, shit just don't make no fucking sense, man. And they're gonna lose a lot of people over this. You know, the longer they let the Epstein files go on, like, you know, like, they're rushing towards a government shutdown. They want a government shutdown, and they want to be able. They want to blame the Democrats. I don't think they're going to be able to. Like, MAGA is going to believe them, but people are pretty much over their bullshit. Most people, most rational people, are over their bullshit. But they want to get to a government shutdown because of the Epstein files. Because the Epstein files just won't go away. They're not going to go away. People aren't going to let them go away. So they really want to get a government shutdown. And I'm kind of torn because I wanted to give them a government shutdown, but now I'm not so sure. I think the Democrats are going to shut down the government. And I think they're going to be able to successfully put it on the Republicans. Because the Republicans aren't going to give them any concessions. And we literally have Trump publicly saying, don't talk to the Democrats, don't negotiate with the Democrats, we'll do it without them. So, like, yeah, it's going to be really hard to put it on the Democrats. So I think that the Democrats are going to give them the shutdown. But now that I'm pretty sure they want the shutdown, I don't think we should give it to them. But then that's problems with it all within itself as well. So yeah, that's kind of fucked up. I think somebody might be coming upstairs. It's probably my daughter. Maybe. Alright, so next thing I wanted to kind of check out, what time is it? You know, I don't think, people are covering him a little bit more, but I don't think Stephen Miller gets covered enough. Stephen Miller is like the driving force behind all the Trump policy. He pretty much runs like 3 different departments. He pretty much, like, he's like the most hated person in the admin, but he's also the most feared person in the admin probably. And this speech he gave at Charlie Kirk's, just atrocity of a funeral. I mean, it was an atrocity. Spectacle, like making a hero out of Charlie Kirk. I just it's kind of sickening. Like, this is the person you want to uphold. Like, we're still here, right? Sometimes it's hard to believe the sickness of America will ever heal, but yeah, this shit just, they think they're going to get away with it. They pretty much have the Supreme Court in their bag. We'll see how far the Supreme Court's willing to go. And the Supreme Court's not going to be able to hear everything. They only can do a certain amount of cases a year. And yeah, I just don't think they're going to be able to pull this shit off. And I think that this douchebag here is going to go down as one of the most hated men in American history, even above Donald Trump. Like, I think when all's said and done, Donald just wants to play golf and be king. Stephen Miller wants to break the government and instill Germany. It's my opinion.
Stephen Miller.
One of the commenters on either one of my like community posts or one of my streams was like, a lot of commenters actually were like, show me a single time of right-wing people calling for violence or calling for war. It's left-wing people calling for war. And I'm like, you guys are fucking delusional. They're just liars. And it's why, like, I just decided, like, I don't want to talk to liars. I mean, if you've seen somebody on Twitter calling for war because, your politicians and your pundits have been calling for war, like, you're just a bad faith actor. You're just a bad faith actor.
Hello, Turning Point. Hello, Patriots. Hello to our fearless president, Donald J. Trump.
He exudes just snideness. Like, you're supposed to be at a funeral, like in a fucking stadium, right? This is supposed to be a dude you knew personally, a dude you called friend. Do you see any grief on this motherfucker's face? Or do you see triumph? Because when I watched this, I saw a dude that was happy Charlie Kirk was dead. That's what I saw.
And hello to millions of Americans all across this land who are gathered in sadness and sorrow to mourn Charlie Kirk, but also to dedicate ourselves to finishing his mission and achieving victory in his name. The day that Charlie died, the angels wept, but those tears have been turned into fire in our hearts. And that fire burns with a righteous fury that our enemies cannot comprehend or understand. When I see Erica and her strength and her courage, I'm reminded of a famous expression. The storm whispers to the warrior that you cannot withstand my strength. And the warrior whispers back, I am the storm.
Famous expression. It's a meme. It's a fucking meme. Right? Stephen Miller is like pretty much the same as Tyler Robinson, minus like we don't, as far as we know, he's never killed anybody, right? Like, he's a meme kid. He's a Reddit kid. Probably a Nazi. Stephen Miller's definitely a Nazi. I'm talking about Tyler here. Probably a groiper, a Nazi. But, like, we'll never get the truth of that. You know, unless we see his socials, we'll never get the truth of that. That was a fucking meme. You know, like, I share that shit on my Facebook sometimes. It's still a meme. A famous expression? No, you're a meme kid.
Erica is the storm. We are the storm. And our enemies cannot comprehend our strength, our determination, our resolve, our passion.
I mean, people make fun of me for being bald, but I'm like 48 years old. How old is this dude? He's balder than me.
Our lineage and our legacy hails back to Athens, to Rome, to Philadelphia, to Monticello. Our ancestors built the cities. They produced the art and architecture. They built the industry. Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands.
I mean, he just sounds like a fascist. Our ancestors, no, like, that built the cities. It was mostly like black dudes and China dudes. What the fuck you talking about? What the fuck you talking about? You motherfuckers didn't do shit. You think this motherfucker ever built anything in his fucking life? Now think what you want about me, but I've built a house. You know, like, I've roofed houses. I've built and framed a house. You think this motherfucker could do that shit? Fuck no, he couldn't.
Of years of warriors, of women who raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization, who pulled us out of the caves and the darkness into the light. The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil.
Yeah, I just see, like, I see a dude that's glad Charlie Kirk's dead, not because Charlie Kirk's dead, but because he gets to use this death to further his nefarious goals, which is to silence all opposition, to make his greatest enemy, Antifa, illegal in this country. You know what it means? The moment they make Antifa illegal, it means the Nazis have free reign on communities again. Before Antifa, you know, KKK, they could have their rallies, and, you know, they could harass the black folks and the gay folks and the Jewish folks. And there wasn't really, like, you think the cops weren't really doing shit. You know, up in Washington State, the neo-Nazi skinheads, you know, they were going around beating up, sometimes killing black folks, gay folks, Chinese folks, trans folks if they found one, because most trans folks back then were rightfully too scared to really come out and be trans. And then Antifa came along, and, you know, they had to punch people that were punching back. And now they ain't going to have that no more. So when neo-Nazis have their rallies, they're just going to have free reign to raise fucking hell. When KKKs have their walkthroughs of towns that don't want them there, they're just going to have free reign to raise fucking hell. And that's what this motherfucker wants. Because anti-fascists are the greatest enemy of the fascist.
They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing.
He's talking about the left. He's talking about his political rivals. He's not talking about Tyler Robinson. He's talking about us. We are nothing. We're the violent ones. I'm basically a pacifist. Like, I'm pretty sure if Will Kincaid would have came that one August, I was mad enough to, like, beat his fucking ass. But usually I don't fight no more. I'm a pacifist by nature. Even back then, I don't like violence. I don't spank my kid. You know, I don't like violence. So I, like, the times that we're heading to for a person like me, it's not, you know, it's not my comfort zone anymore. A long time ago it was. A long time ago I'd be real comfortable right now. This would have been the exact type of situation I'd have thrived in. Because I enjoyed violence a long time ago. But that was a long time ago. I'm a teddy bear now. Like, basically, like, even as a raging alcoholic, atheist, whatever the fuck I was for all them years, I didn't fight nobody physically in all them years. I ain't trying to, like, hurt nobody physically. I don't, you know, I could be, like, unharmed in a physical altercation, but I would still feel as much pain as if I had been harmed. Like, if I did harm to a human being, I would feel pain for that. Even no matter how much they deserved it. Like, if Will Kincaid would have came here that August and I put an ass kick into that dude, I would have instantly regretted it. I would have felt good at the time. You know, I was that mad, but I would have instantly regretted it, not because of, like, going to jail or whatever, but because I just hurt a human being, man. And I said I'd never do that again. Never do that again. I hurt somebody pretty bad once. And man, that shit don't feel good, man. Wondering if he's gonna live, if you're gonna be a murderer. I don't never want to feel that again. Ever, man. Ever.
You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy.
I always give away too much. So for my haters out there thinking they're going to like get me arrested for some crime, that shit happened when I was in prison. I was in prison. I was thoroughly punished for it.
And we will devote.
I literally thought I was going to catch a murder charge. Like if he'd have died, man.
The rest of our lives to finishing the causes for which Charlie gave his last measure of devotion. You cannot defeat us. You cannot slow us. You cannot stop us. You cannot deter us. We will carry Charlie and Erica in our heart every single day and fight that much harder because of what you did to us. You have no idea the dragon you have awakened. You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization, to save.
Like, this dude is so terrifying. Like, he's like the second most powerful dude in the world, man. Like, I put him above Putin, China, like all of them. Just because we're America and we've got the military that we've got, and we've got the power that we've got. I'm just like mispronunciating like a motherfucker. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, you know, like this dude, like I can say, I honestly think like Trump just wants like three things, man. Dude wants to golf, or four things. Dude wants to golf. He wants to get pussy till he dies. He wants to be king. And he doesn't want to release the Epstein files. You know, that's the four things. You know? Other than that, like everything we're seeing is this dude, man, and he hates us, especially if you consider yourself anti-fascist. I am his. He doesn't know me, or maybe probably. I'm like, I'd be shocked if they aren't even watching me at this point. Like. Honestly, that's how far I trust this government. Honestly, I'm nobody, talking to very few people, using my free speech, and they're probably looking at me because this motherfucker would hate me because I do identify as an anti-socialist, an anti-fascist, and I always have, you know, always. But until now, I never really had to worry about that identification. Because, you know, that wouldn't be anything to make them look at me because I was an American. I was supposed to be anti-fascist. Every single soldier that went over to Europe in World War II was an anti-fascist. Every single one of them. They did what Americans were supposed to do with fascists. You know, like, now I get the history. I get, like, man, Nazism really was popular here in America. It was. It really was. And then we defeated that shit. But unfortunately, that Nazism was really popular here in America. And we didn't defeat that shit here at home. We defeated that shit overseas. And again, it's one of the flaws of democratic society because they have the freedom to be Nazis. It is their freedom. Inherently, as long as they are not harming anybody, there's nothing wrong with it. Outside of it's disgusting. But if they're not harming anybody in America, they have that freedom. What they don't have is try to do a coup on the American system of government, take that government over, and make it a Nazi government. They can't do that. That's where they don't have the freedom to do that. This guy, This guy right here, he does not have the freedom to do that. Even with this Supreme Court, he does not. And we have to hold to that fact. We have to. Even after they lock us up. We will win our cases. I, who do not have any money for legal representation, I will win my case. Because the Constitution is on our side. It is not on his side. I have to hold to that. I have to believe that until they put the bullet in my brain.
The West to save this.
Now, the real discussion is, how long do we wait? When does this become a civil war? Because if they keep on with this, what he's saying here, that's where we're going. But they say we're the ones that do it. People in my comments saying it's not the right at all. Like, what do you call this?
Public. Because our children are strong, and our grandchildren will be strong, and our children's children's children will be strong. And what will you leave behind?
I ran the channel in the ground. SPM.
Nothing. To our enemies, you have nothing to give, you have nothing to offer, you have nothing to share, but bitterness. We have beauty, we have light, we have goodness, we have determination, we have vision, we have strength. We built the world that we inhabit now, generation by generation, and we will defend this world. We will defend goodness, we will defend light, we will defend virtue. You cannot terrify us, you cannot frighten us, you cannot threaten us, because we are on the side of goodness. We are on the side of God. And to my friend Charlie, to my brother Charlie.
Friend Charlie, brother Charlie, bullshit. Like, do you think Stephen Miller can fight? Like in a, if it came down to it, do you think he can fight? Now, I know, like, the bias and the assumption would be, hell no, he's a pussy. But really, like, dude's got a thick neck. And, like, he looks skinny, but I would ascertain, like, I bet he can fight. In fact, I bet he's done some fighting. That would be my guess. Most neo-Nazis fight. Man, if the CIA is looking at me, guys, I don't got long, man. I can't with these people. I'm too free with my speech, man. Like, I'm fucked, y'all. I'm fucked. Like, little old me, I'm fucked. Like, it's all over my, y'all, SPM, you on my Facebook, it's all over my Facebook. Like, I'm fucked. I've been trying to figure out how to delete Facebook. It doesn't even look like you can delete Facebook anymore. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why can't I figure it out?
I know you are looking at us right now. I know you're watching Erica right now. I know you're watching your children right now. And I promise you, my friend, I promise you, my brother, we will prove worthy of your sacrifice.
I'll tell you, like, why I think he can fight, because I probably got a better view of it than you guys do. Here, we'll put it on full screen for you. Right there, that divot in his nose, it looks like his nose has been broke. And usually you're only going to get a nose broke if you've been in a few fights. It's actually pretty hard to break a nose. I mean, you got to hit it pretty clean to break that cartilage.
Sacrifice.
I mean, you'll hurt a person no matter what. Like, the best thing to do if, like, you don't want to fight and you can get the drop on somebody, hit them in the nose clean. Their eyes are gonna tear up, and you just run. You know, just fucking run.
We will prove worthy
the throat
of your
too.
time on earth.
But you might kill somebody if you use the throat. And that's always a consideration, because you can catch a charge.
Make you proud. We will finish the job. We will defeat the forces of darkness and evil, and we.
And I'm not telling anybody to do that shit. Like, just like if you're in a situation where you need to defend yourself, like if you're a female out there, you know, and you ain't got no pepper spray or nothing. If you got pepper spray and you can get to it, use it. But, you know, like, if you don't want to fight, if you don't want to be, like, assaulted, and you can get the drop on your opponent, get a clean shot to that fucking nose, and man, they're not gonna be able to see for a moment. Usually, like most human beings, some human beings are just abnormal. Like they're like, I don't know, like I don't know what it is, but like usually their tears are gonna drop. It's gonna hurt real bad, and their eyes are gonna water, and they're not gonna be able to see. You can run away. Now, if they're faster than you, they'll probably be able to catch up, but you got a good chance to get away.
Will stand every day for what is true, what is beautiful, what is good.
I've never ran away from a fight.
We will achieve
until recently. I never had to. Like when I became a pacifist, you just don't put yourself in situations to where you have to fight, right? Like it's pretty easy to go through life without fighting, if you choose to. And I learned real quick, like to kind of talk myself out of situations. Here recently, I was assaulted 3 times, and I didn't fight back. And it was a big test for me. It was a big test for me. I was assaulted physically 3 times, and I did not fight back. And not fighting back actually stopped the fight all 3 times, and calling the cops.
Victory for our children, for our families, for our civilization.
But I never press charges. I just call the cops to get them to stop. Yeah, I don't want to fight nobody. I'm too old for that shit. Fighting is never the path, unless it's the only path. Unless you're backed into a corner. It's the only time, unless you have to. If you have to harm someone, you must do so, then you have to. But if you don't have to, like harming people harms yourself. It harms, I know atheists don't like to believe in a soul. I don't like to believe in a soul, but it harms something inside of you. Even if you can learn to ignore it, you can never truly ignore it.
And for every patriot who stands with us, God bless you. God bless Turning Point.
I hate this. I hate such a strong word, but it's just so vile, and it's so dangerous, right? Like, for one, in a liberal democracy, even 2 extreme sides should be able to talk out, solutions. But when you have a president who's dictating to his party that the other side is evil, then there's no government, there's no democracy, there's no America anymore. And does all of MAGA really want no America anymore? Do they really want a civil war? The last one was brutal. It was brutal. And guess what? The last one, we didn't have 350 million guns in the country. This would be a fucking disaster of the most epic proportions. A fucking disaster. Do we really want to go there? It seems like Stephen Miller really wants to go there. Scary shit, bro.
Imagine if a whistleblower came forward and said the President of the United States...
All right, this was, I think it was this morning that this shit blew my mind. Maybe it was yesterday. You get your days mixed up with all this fucking crazy shit, right? Now, I think, so they posted this, what appears to be a text message to the president, from the president to the president's attorney general, ordering her to lock up his political enemies. Like, this is Watergate without the Watergate, right? Now, they took it down, but people had already seen it. And then they put it up, and it seems to be the story, Trump just meant to do that. Like, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a text that he accidentally put on his True Social. But this is wow. So this shows the absolute corruption of the Republican Party, right? So the legitimate moral justification for your vote for Donald Trump was that yeah, he's kind of a scumbag, but he's our scumbag, and he's gonna burn down, the deep state. He's gonna fix the corrupt system, and we're gonna have a true American system again. But when he goes and does the thing that the Republican got impeached for, but he does it without like the hotel and the subterfuge. He just does it for the whole world to see openly and blatantly. Right? Like, what the fuck? And the Republican Party are just like, yeah, who cares? Like, you voted to end corruption and you got what appears to be. I'm like, don't tell me my fucking mic is off. I keep getting these fucking weird like Facebook codes on my phone, like text messages. This one's in a different language. Like, that's fucking weird. It's been like the last few days, bro. It's fucking weird. I don't know what's going on with that. Like somebody like hacking into my Facebook account? I don't know because I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. This is just random fucking text messages that I get. It could just be, I don't even know. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Like the country's weird. This should, we've had like, in a sane world, so many impeachable offenses already. But this should be without a doubt like just immediate impeachment. I don't get it.
Told his attorney general in a private Oval Office meeting that she's not doing enough to target his political opponents, and that he listed by name the people he wanted her to go after and explicitly tied it to his desire for vengeance. Well, whistleblowers need not apply right now because this president did all of that out in the open. Here are the president's own words on his Truth Social platform over the weekend. Quote, Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time. All talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adams, Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. He went on to say, we can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times.
So like the part she skipped over is about the U.S. attorney in Virginia that, is like far extreme right wing dude, man. Like, this motherfucker was trying everything he could to bury Letitia James. Everything he could for 5 fucking months. And there was just nothing there. There was just nothing there. And this is all about how this is like motherfucking Democrat supported because a couple Democrats during the his confirmation hearings didn't give him as hard a time as the rest of the Democrats, I guess. Like dude, he couldn't find shit. So now he's gonna find somebody that'll just make shit up, I guess. I don't know. So that's the part she skipped over, which is just fucking wild in itself, right? Like, wild.
Over nothing, justice must be served now. Now, that post on Saturday night came after the president fired the U.S. attorney in Virginia, whom he appointed after prosecutors there did not believe they had enough evidence to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James. President Trump plans to install his former personal attorney with no experience as a prosecutor to oversee that office. Despite that step, his own comments, President Trump did tell reporters he's not involved in Justice Department decisions.
No, I just want people to act. They have to act, and we want to act fast. They were ruthless and vicious. I was impeached twice. I was indicted 5 times. It turned out to be a fake deal. And we have to act fast.
It didn't turn out to be a fake deal. He beat the clock. He won the presidency. Now he says it's fake. No, it wasn't fake. It was real. It was happening. Biden, Merrick Garland, they were inept. They took too long. They let the clock run out because they never really wanted to indict, or they never really wanted to like find a former sitting president guilty. You know how much fucking precedent that sets? It means any president can be found guilty. No president wants that shit. Oh my God. Like Biden's administration fucked all of us with that shit. Fucked all of us. Because this dude was going away. Fake. That's what he does, man. Like the whole Russia thing wasn't fake. It was like Congress needed to act on it and they didn't. Like this dude gets away with everything, and it's just it's disgusting. Everybody, both sides of the aisle should be calling for his impeachment. If Joe Biden did this, everybody, both sides of the aisle, would have been calling for his impeachment. Like this is outrageous.
One way or the other. One way or the other. They're guilty, they're not.
And then he's just like doubling down on, like, he doesn't, like, this dude, it's not that he doesn't care about the Constitution. He never took the time to learn it or understand it at all. So, I mean, he doesn't care about the Constitution because he's never cared about the Constitution. I think all the big streamers should just start, like, reading the Constitution on their streams. The Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Federalist Files, like, all that shit. Just start reading all that shit. Like, it'd be no point in me doing it. Kind of boring. It wouldn't build shit. But, like, the big ones, you know, devote a couple hours a day to that shit. You know, like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be the constitutional party. Heritage Foundation. You know, the great forefathers whom are our prophets, who we must be able to get into the minds of and understand exactly how they were thinking and feeling and what they meant. And that only means, like, how we would think that we want them to think and feel and how they meant. So it was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. They're ready to burn it all down. Because, like, they think it's going to be like some easy thing. Let me tell you, not everybody in the military is going to follow those orders. It's going to be chaos. Let me tell you, lefties aren't going to just wait for you to come get us. Like, sooner or later, like, motherfucking states are going to start seceding from this shit. It's going to get fucking nasty. Why is your president doing this? Why would you guys allow him to do this? This fucking old man with dementia. Fucking Joe Biden can't. Sleepy Joe. It's fucking outrageous at this point. It's beyond belief. You're all fucking liars. You've always been liars and you know it. It's disgusting.
Guilty, we have to act fast. I think Pam Bondi is going to go down as one of the best attorney generals of the ages.
Have you ever threatened DOJ leadership if they don't prosecute with this case?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I mean, I look at the facts like everybody else. You read the facts, and to me, she looks terrible. She looks like she's very guilty, but that's going to be up to the DOJ.
I'm joined by a terrific group of reporters here at the table today. Our own Stephen Collinson, Tia Mitchell of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
All right, I don't have any interest in their bloviated bullshit. Oh, why did I do that? I went to the wrong screen. They should all be calling for impeachment. Fox News, ONN, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. The only reason these motherfuckers aren't, because they're all paid off. They're all in on it. It's disgusting. I hope I make it to the resistance, bro. Hopefully I get. Hopefully I make it to the resistance. I don't think I will though. There's not too many like socialists in Battle Creek. As soon as the Gestapo starts coming for us, I'm gonna be like one of the first ones here. Like I don't think I'm making it to the resistance. I just hope I stay true to my principles. Don't become some little turncoat bitch. You never know what you're gonna do until you're actually, in the situation, right? God, I hope I'm a good human being.
While speaking at Charlie Kirk's memorial yesterday, President Trump said a big announcement was coming about autism. The Washington reports this. Today, the administration is expected to tie pregnant women's use of acetaminophen, that's the active ingredient in Tylenol, to a risk of autism. Tylenol's owner says, quote, "We believe independent, sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise and are deeply concerned with the health risk."
Can we go back to like news that's kind of like this, like news that's news, right? Like, give us the facts. And then, maybe devote like primetime hours to like the debate shit. Because it's like we don't get news anymore. I don't watch like local news. Like local news have been bought out by the right wing for so long. I stopped watching that shit a long time ago. Right? Like I need national news to be news again. Right? Like I need it to be news again. But the unfortunate thing is they're all owned by the oligarchs. Right? Like there's some, at least with like people that pretend to be journalist organizations, that are journalists. There's some regulation lines between those, but Fox News and these other right wing outlets, they don't have that. Like maybe I've known it for a long time and just relearned it, but I think I just learned that like Fox News isn't like Fox News. It's just the name of their entertainment show. It's Fox News. It's not an actual news channel. They just call themselves Fox News. It's fucking insane. Some law like Ronald Reagan came out with. Imagine that.
Poses for expectant mothers. CBS News medical contributor, that's Dr. Celine Gowders, is editor-at-large for public health at KFF Health News, and joins us to sort it all out. Celine, this is already confusing, and they haven't even made the official announcement yet, and there's so much at stake here. As a doctor, you know this world very well. Is there a tie between Tylenol and autism?
No, the best evidence does not show an association between Tylenol and autism. So the best recent study looked at 2.5 million kids from Sweden. They used sibling comparisons to factor out genetic factors and other factors, and they found no increase in risk in autism, ADHD, or other intellectual disabilities for pregnant women who used Tylenol during pregnancy.
Women are often very cautious when it comes to what they take during their pregnancy. How will this announcement change how women process this information? Let me put it better. When women hear the announcement later today, how should they hear it? What should they be listening for?
Well, one of the things that concerns me is unintended side effects of this. So will women end up taking other medications like aspirin or ibuprofen during pregnancy? Those actually can be dangerous, especially in the third trimester. You can end up with kidney issues, cardiac issues in the baby. Other than Tylenol, and Tylenol has been the first line for pregnant women for a long time. That's really the safest thing we have. You're talking about opioids. So is that really the next best thing that we want to be giving women for pain relief? So that's number one. Number two, in terms of what to be listening for when this announcement is made, is who is presenting the information, who's presenting the data. What we've seen with vaccines and autism is the same people who recycle the same playbook. First it was MMR vaccines, then it was thimerosal, then it was aluminum. Is it the same people recycling the same playbook over and over again?
This administration, they're also reportedly planning on touting a lesser-known drug as a potential autism treatment. What more do you know about that?
Yeah, so this is called...
All right, so like this fucking bullshit, man. All right, like this is like pseudoscience, and I don't even know if he's made the announcement yet. This is like pseudoscience. This is potentially, I'm not gonna say it's going to, potentially like harm a lot of pregnant women. Right? Like, yeah, like she just said, like, what do you want them? You want pregnant women taking opioids when they're pregnant? Like, the research doesn't show that Tylenol is the cause of autism. The madmen have taken over. Like, this motherfucker is like literally deranged, bro. They're like sick in the head. They're gonna harm a lot of people probably. Probably. Like, and like the medication she's about to tell you, like, it'll work for some. For some. For others, it's probably not a great idea. Like, my God, what are they doing here? And they've been atrocious on this, and nobody talks about it enough. Like, the bird flu that's like going around that nobody's talking about or allowed to talk about. You know, getting rid of weather system alert systems and shit. You know, getting rid of like crucial programs over in Africa when it comes to like disease. Oh my God, like, how can people be okay with this? Like, the amount of like people that are gonna die already just from like taking away their health care. I think there's a good chance my kid's gonna be one of them. But this is actually like the government harming them, because this is pseudoscience. This isn't proven science. This isn't proven science at all. This is like anti-vax bullshit. Like, almost anti-vax bullshit. Like, because anti-vax thinks it's like vaccines that cause autism, but this is like right there too. Like, this is pseudoscience. There's just really no science behind this.
Leucovorin. And the issue here, some people have been describing this as treatment for folate deficiencies. That's actually not right. You can have a perfectly normal folate level in your blood, but it may not be getting into the brain. And so there's a defect in the transport of folate into the brain. Leucovorin works around that. Not all children with autism have this defect. So there's a test you can do to assess whether that's what's at play. For those kids, leucovorin has been shown to help, particularly with speech, getting kids to be more verbal than they were before.
How concerned is the medical community about this? Because I think if I was pregnant, I would be so freaked out now about what to do and who to believe and who to believe.
I mean, look, the medical community, the scientific community is very much, has the same consensus, which is that Tylenol, acetaminophen, is safe in pregnancy. If you have a high fever during pregnancy, that can cause neurodevelopment issues in the baby. So you don't want to let that fever go untreated.
Right.
And, with pregnant women may have pain, and that's not something that should go untreated either.
All right, Dr. Gounder, thank you so much.
Just scary shit, man. It's like just the irresponsibility of it. All right, it looks like I thought I had something else. I think I might have erased something. What else did I have? I'm not sure. I thought I had something else. I've been streaming for a while. It's probably time to get off of here. I still need to watch Superman with my daughter because it's on Paramount Plus now. I was nervous, but it looks like it was actually good, so I'm excited. Well, I can't remember, or I'm in the wrong. Where's my history at? That's a great story. I think I think Disney's lost like $4 billion. With this boycott. I wonder if I was going to show this one. I don't think so. But this is like Hexet, then the Pentagon is like demanding like they only reporters only report what they're told they can report. It's been a busy day. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, and I need to figure out why I can't get my camera to work up here. It's probably because I already had OBS on. I don't know. But at least it's working now. Yeah, a lot of fucked up shit. There's a lot more shit that I could have covered, I think. Of course there is. Like, these news cycles are fucking crazy. But yeah, I think I'm going to get off here. Maybe watch a movie before I go to bed. I go to bed super early because of my sleep schedule, even though I have tomorrow off. You know, like, I'm kind of itching to have conversation with folks. It's not too many folks been showing up to open rooms. I know it's going to take some time, but I'm really not interested in talking to people right now that's just going to come in and fucking lie. Like, I'm so tired of people lying. Like, just say what you actually believe, right? Like I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. You think whatever you want about the left. You know, we're a minority in this fucking country. The actual left. We're a minority. You know, if you count the Democrats and the liberals, then I think we're probably a majority. But when it comes to actual leftists in America, we are a fucking minority. Oh yeah, man, my daughter's ready for me to get off. But so I can't remember. My daughter interrupted my rant. Yeah, I can't remember it now. Fuck it. And I'm kind of like my voice is getting itchy, so I think it's definitely time to stop the stream. You guys have a great and wonderful afternoon, except for you, Jill. Fuck you. You're a fascist. Oh, my friend. You know, it was beautiful when Vosh got you to admit to being a fascist. I will never forget that debate. Like, maybe that's what I'll watch tomorrow. We'll just have fun and watch. We'll find that old Jill versus Vosh debate. That was great fun. Oh, I don't even think I've ever actually watched it on my channel either. I've just like referenced like how Vosh got Jill to admit he's a fascist. Oh, it was so beautiful. Jill. I've known Jill for too long. I honestly believe his hatred is real. Jill hates everybody. Am I still a coward? This one guy? Kid, man. I shouldn't have called you retarded. You got your opinions. You're free to them. Everybody's free to their opinions. Yeah, I don't know. I heard some crazy shit. Some kind of sex shit went on with Vosh last year. I don't know nothing about it. So I don't, you know, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know if it's like hate talk, because you know, like I kind of disconnected for a while. I've been trying to like pick up all the old stuff. I've been watching Vanguard again, Hasanabi again, you know, because I kind of got away from the leftist content there for a while. I got away from most political. Like I literally made an attempt to tune out politics, and it's still like. Even then, when I was tuning out politics, most of my Facebook posts would be about politics, you know? But I was literally like just tuning it out for the longest time. So I stopped watching, folks, and then I get back and like the liberals are after the lefties next, and the lefties are kind of after everybody's necks, and you know, like the lefties were after my neck right when I left because I guess I've always said I'm not as left as a lot of these lefties. You know, I'm comfortable with that. And I'm trying to put the reins on going any farther left, honestly. Like I want American socialism. I want economic socialism. I don't know, and I don't even think I really like most models that we have out for that, right? Like I think I just want Americans to have a better cut and a bigger interest in their work. I think it's going to really be hard to like sell, you know, socialism here in America. And I'd just be happy before I die if I can get a little bit of socialism, you know. Some economic freedom in the workplace would be really nice before I die. Right? If that could be the result of all of this, you know, like we push a little bit to the left and we get stronger labor unions in the country. Yeah, I'll be done in just a second, baby. If we can get like stronger labor unions in the country, you know, because that's kind of, you know, one of the things that, you know, like I really don't have to worry about being canceled unless I just say some outrageous shit. Because, you know, I do have a union. You know, I'm protected by a union. If we have some strong labor unions that, you know, aren't corrupt, true strong labor unions, some, you know, economic equity in the workforce for workers before I die, I think I'd be pretty happy with that. Like, I would take all of this fucking bullshit, right? Except for like a civil war. Like, it's not worth it for a civil war, I don't think. Well, I mean, you know, the First Amendment is worth it for a civil war, but like a little bit of socialism in America isn't. Not if we can do it without one. And I'm not a revolutionary. I don't ever want to see bloodshed. I want to see people grow the fuck up. I want to see people be adults. Stop this Neanderthal mentality that big dick, heavy fists. I beat you up. I'm bigger man. No, fuck that shit. Let's talk this shit out. And let's actually, you know, like, this partisan bullshit is only resulting in people dying. Let's actually start fixing shit. We can start with our infrastructure. We can start with some just common sense shit on guns to like make it harder for people with mental illness to get guns, and maybe make it easier for people to treat their mental illness. Yeah, you know, like easy baby steps that we can come together on and fucking do something. Instead of this partisan shit that it just leads to death. Think what you want about Charlie Kirk. He was a huge force on this planet, and he was just fucking taken out over what essentially is bullshit. We were all born to this world. This world is all of ours. It's not Elon Musk's. It's not Donald Trump's. It's ours. God damn it, it's ours. With that, y'all motherfuckers have a good day. The earth is flat, bitches. And where's my music? Why don't I have my music? It's not the same without the music. Yeah, like, OBS is just fucked today, bro. It's just fucked today.